Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Brock Vanek, and today we are going to be talking about earthquakes. Now, every year, $4.4 billion goes into the study of earthquake by scientists all around the country. This information is from FEMA, and there's no surprise on this. And in order to understand why so much money is spent in studying earthquakes, we're going to talk about the Northridge earthquake of 1994 and the impact that it had on Los Angeles. So, the earthquake started from a slip fault that occurred in the thrust fault that wasn't even known to exist until the earthquake actually took place. And the epicenter of the slip fault was Northridge, hence why it experienced the most damage out of any other place. The San Fernando Valley also experienced some of the earthquake, but it obviously was not as intense as the epicenter. Okay, there was also a slip in the Earth's crust, which caused some of the faults to shake, making the earthquake even more intense. The earthquake actually occurred at like a 6.7 on the Richter scale. As you can see right here, this is an example of one of the bridges that collapsed during the earthquake. There were thousands of buildings that fell down, and the number one cause of death for this earthquake was that people were in their homes, and their homes and apartments were made out of wood. These collapsed while they were in them, and they ended up dying inside. Between 60, 70 people died in this earthquake, and quite the tragedy. Around 12,000 were injured as well. Transportation was shut down in the city of Los Angeles, which led to a lot of economic problems because people couldn't get to work. Their buildings of work were destroyed, so on and so on. Here is an example of one of the houses that has collapsed during the earthquake. A lot of them were made out of wood during the time, which was interesting because scientists, they knew that Los Angeles was prone to earthquakes, and they knew that parts of California was, so it's just a lesson to not build out of wood or to build with materials that are more sturdy in the future. First responders were on the scene within 24 hours. They were the heroes during this event. They helped save thousands of lives, and a lot of money was spent in this earthquake relief. It is estimated that about $11 billion was sent by the U.S. government in order to relieve Los Angeles because it was considered a natural disaster. Now, going back to the beginning question of why so much money is spent every single year on research goes to the fact that earthquakes are devastating. In order to fully understand them, we must spend a lot of money on them. And if we understand them more, then we'll be able to prevent a lot of damages and a lot of losses of life that happen, such as the one in Northridge. And so this is why scientists spend so much money on it, and this is why it's so useful to study, and this is probably why we're studying it in class. So thank you, and I hope you guys have a great day.